Welcome to another episode of the Words to Your Mother podcast, where we talk openly and honestly with the goal of normalizing mental health conversations until even your mom gets it. Today's show is an actual pro interview from the vault. We talk to Songs of Healing, a board-certified music therapist with a particular interest in how we select music for relaxation experiences. She leads us through a guided relaxation exercise, after which we chat about meditation and answer community questions about mental health. Enjoy. Holy crap. I had so many difficulties, it's not even funny, but I am super excited to be here with Songs of Healing today. She is our lovely mental health professional today. So you see the actual over there at the top of hers, over there, her name is Songs of Healing. She has a Twitch channel as well, so if you want to check her out, we'll do a quick intro. I do have a queue opened up for you guys. If you have any questions as we go along, feel free to type in !Q and then your question, and I'll make sure that we get to it as we go along. And Songs of Healing is going to lead us in a relaxation exercise right at the beginning, which I need right now. Let me just say. So this is Songs of Healing. She is a board-certified music therapist with a particular interest in how we select music for relaxation experiences. She is a Twitch streamer. You spelled enemies wrong, Bite. She is a Twitch streamer, so if I could get a shout out for Songs of Healing, that would be lovely. And she is attempting to come out of hiatus. So she focuses on providing guided meditation and music experiences followed by chill gameplay with games like Finding Paradise and Stardew Valley. Find her at, there's the shout out right there for us. Thank you, Frost. Thank you, Slay. I appreciate it. And also on Twitter at twitter.com/songshealing if you'd like to see what she's up to and keep up with her streaming schedule. With that, thank you so much for being here today. And I'm going to let you lead us in this exercise and then we'll hop into the interview.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that intro. Hello, everyone. As Mama said, we're actually just going to jump right in, and then I'll do a lot more actual talking and interviewee things afterwards. So what we're going to be doing is just a really short 7-minute experience on guided breathing. So if you have no idea what that is, it's literally, I will literally be walking you through it. So I'm going to be walking you through just kind of, being aware of the different stages of breathing. And the entire time that this is going to be happening, I will be playing, oh my God, I always forget how happy you are, my lovely, lovely Idiopan. It is a steel tongue drum. It's my favorite. It's beautiful. And it sounds like this. Not like that. So I will be playing that the entire way through, just as a kind of like extra thing to kind of guide you and, help you focus and everything. So as you get started with any sort of relaxation experience, the number one thing that you want to do is get comfy. So Mama's got her nice chair. I've got my not as nice chair, but I try to get as comfy as possible. You want your feet, flat on the floor. I'm too short, so my feet are like flat on the chair's legs. But you just kind of want to like let yourself really kind of sink into your chair. Start my timer real quick. And really just kind of allow yourself to just sink into that feeling. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not, it's fine. You don't have to. And you're not really changing anything. You're just gonna sink in to your chair and just sink into that feeling and just become aware of your breathing. Not changing anything. Just a different level of awareness. If you notice yourself drift a little bit, that's okay. Just always try to come back. And this is a practice. This is never perfect. As you start to become aware of your breathing, notice how it moves in cycles. hold it and back out, and you hold it. Just allow yourself to be aware of that cycle. Now deepening your breathing, notice the air as it comes in through your nose and flows down through your chest and fills your lungs. And just sit with that feeling. And allow yourself to let the air back out. And on your next breath, notice the second part of the cycle, where you've already brought your air in, and you hold it there, and now it rushes back out and comes back up through your lungs and out into the air. And hold on to that sensation, and just notice what you feel. Allow yourself to breathe at your own pace, but really allowing yourself to take this entire cycle now into account. Where you breathe in, and you hold it there, and you breathe back out, and you hold it again. Breathing in, hold, and back out, and allow yourself to sit with this feeling now and really start to notice how your breath has changed from the start. And allow yourself to really access this feeling of deep relaxation. And know that you can access this feeling anytime you need it. All it takes is noticing your breathing. Allow yourself to begin to become aware of your surroundings again. Maybe by wiggling your toes a little bit, maybe wiggling your fingers. Just allow yourself to come back into the awareness of the room around you. Notice how refreshed you feel. That you can again take that feeling with you for the rest of your day, or to wind down, maybe sleep soon. Whatever it is that the rest of your day entails. As you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, you can go ahead and open them back up. yourself to move on with the rest of your day.
Well, that was beautiful. And I really do feel more relaxed.
Oh, good. That was good.
Also, yeah, well, I needed this. Well, I appreciate you starting us off with that exercise. And I liked at the beginning that you kind of said, if you're comfortable, close your eyes, because I have a problem with a little bit of vertigo when I close my eyes sometimes. Yeah. If I'm not laying down already, I feel like the room is spinning. So I was able to kind of just look down. I have my keyboard changes colors.
Yeah.
So I got to just watch that change colors.
Yeah. Focal points, something.
Yes. Yeah. That was lovely. Sure. Yes, absolutely it was. I appreciate it. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. Bite Mark said it was lovely. Absolutely. Oh, the instrument was a little loud. Hard to hear her. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I heard you fine. They're just crazy. No, not really.
Blame the mods. Always
absolutely. Always blame the mods. Yep. Mm-hmm. So with that, so that's kind of what you do on your Twitch channel as well, right? You go through these guided exercises and then you game after, typically?
Yes. I usually start out with a relaxation experience and then game afterwards, just to kind of, allow some unwind time if someone can stick around for even longer. That's usually what I tend to do.
I like it. That's wonderful. So what interests you about this guided relaxation and mental health, and who or what inspired you to get into this field? Kind of why do you do what you do?
Well, so I, for undergrad, back in those days, I majored in music and psychology before I actually found out that music therapy was a thing. It wasn't until junior year that I found out that it existed at all. And I was like, wait a minute. So these do come together. That's cool. And I kind of was like, yep, that's exactly where I want to be. That's where I want to end up. So what I did was I finished my undergrad in music and psychology and then went back for like a graduate certification that allowed me to become a music therapist. So I didn't have to do another bachelor's degree. It was just like a 2-year program. And with mental health in particular, I've just always been drawn to it. As soon as I walked into my first psych class in undergrad, I was like, yep, this is it. This is what I want. This is amazing. And then music, my primary instrument is viola. Started playing that in 4th grade and I still play it today. So, that's kind of always been a part of me. So it was just a really nice merger of the two for me.
I like it. So can you explain if there is a difference, the difference in guided relaxation versus meditation? Sure.
So relaxation can kind of be just like you're trying to unwind, right? So that might be like, I'm watching TV, watching video games, playing video games, watching Twitch streams, anything where you're just trying to turn off, when you're trying to just not for a while. But meditation is an active practice where you are focusing on a particular thing. You might be focusing on a mantra. You might be focusing on coloring. You might be focusing on your breathing or something in your body to enter into kind of like a deeper state of relaxation. It's mind training. It's like mind exercise. And then guided versus unguided is just a matter of is someone helping you through it or not? So, yeah.
I like that. And do you post any of your videos onto YouTube or anything, or is it pretty much just all on Twitch right now?
It's just all on Twitch right now. I've gone back and forth so many times about posting them on YouTube, only because it would mean more work for me.
Yes, it is. It is a lot more work.
Yeah.
I know I go through and at least try to post the interviews that I do on Mondays to YouTube. And it takes me anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks to get around to it, because it's extra work for sure, and I've got a lot going on already, so I understand going back and forth with it for sure. So what are the benefits of a guided relaxation or meditation, and can meditation actually improve someone's health?
Yes. Stop. Yes. Full stop. That absolutely can improve someone's health. We have so much research on meditation, which is really, really cool. But we have everything from decreasing stress by literally decreasing the cortisol levels in the blood, which reduces like inflammation. So it can improve symptoms of stress related conditions, so like IBS or PTSD. It can also help to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. It can also help improve attention span because of the whole like you're having to focus in on something, so your span can get to be longer and you remember like more details. You can improve sleep and decrease blood pressure. I mean, the list is very, very, like we're still like writing the list, but the list is very long. It can do so many things.
And so those benefits, do they kind of carry on for a certain amount of time? Do you have to re-engage with meditation and guided relaxation to keep those benefits? Is there any hard facts on those?
The answer is yes to both. That there are long-term benefits, but also like the more you continue to re-engage, like the longer it'll last. So especially we're looking at it, I think the most for depression. And that's really one where like, if we're looking at the long-term ones right now, where like in the long term, depressive symptoms are decreasing because they've kept up the practice on their own.
No, that's great.
It's so fascinating. And frostbiters, IBS can be stress related.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's TMI, but I can tell you that.
It's an inflammatory thing, which can be caused by stress.
Mm-hmm. So is there anyone who would not benefit from meditation or guided relaxation? Is there anything, if you have this, you shouldn't do guided meditation or relaxation? Is there anything like that?
Fantastic question. So there is one contraindication. One out of like kids, teens, older, everyone's fine, right? There's one contraindication where we, at least as music therapists, we are advised not to lead guided relaxation sessions with individuals who are actively psychotic. Because the thought is, we don't want to we did a more of a grounded thing where we were just breathing, right? Mm-hmm. There's also guided relaxation where imagery might be involved. So we might say, imagine your favorite place or imagine a relaxing place. If you are actively psychotic, that could cause some problems.
Right.
It could, amplify your symptoms. However, instead of doing that, what research is suggesting is that doing the kind of the more grounding exercises, which is still, it's still guided, but it's more mindfulness. Mm-hmm. So exercises that kind of are like, getting you in tune with your five senses. That could be more beneficial for those individuals. So it's still like, okay, well, don't necessarily take them like on a mental journey because it's a potentially harmful idea. But if you ground them, that's still meditation and it's still helpful. So that's why it's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I mean, if someone's in a psychotic break, they're not in touch with reality, and taking them even further out of that reality does sound like it would not be great. So are there any impacts of meditation on common mental health disorders? You mentioned depression, anxiety. Mm-hmm. What about things like bipolar or schizophrenia? If they are not in a psychotic break, are there impacts of meditation and guided relaxation on those in particular?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's research that even for those, it can still be beneficial and it can still help address things like stress. I was actually looking at a couple of studies that it helped with symptoms of panic attacks and social anxiety too. So even things that aren't necessarily, just under one kind of umbrella, it can help with those symptoms.
Yeah. Frost and I thought I heard exorcisms and got excited. No exorcisms. We're not performing exorcisms here. Sorry.
That's my other job. We don't talk about that one.
That's a different interview. If you want to come back on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about that. So what are some things, what will I play? Hello, how are you? What are some things you consider when selecting music for a relaxation experience?
I cannot understate this enough. Patient preference. So this is actually what my thesis is all about. So I'm very excited about this question.
Okay.
So when selecting music for relaxation experiences for adults, okay, we have a whole list of tendencies, possibilities, guidelines that suggest slower music that is predictable, that does not really have like strong beats or anything, that is not familiar, and with no words. For adults, tends to be great for relaxation experiences. So a lot of that could be like new age stuff. A lot of that could be classical stuff. However, my thesis is looking at this exact same question, selecting music for relaxation experiences with teenagers. Mm-hmm. And spoiler alert, they basically hate what adults like. It's fascinating.
I am completely shocked about this.
I walk into a room. If I were to walk, so I actually hadn't mentioned this. I work in a mental hospital for kids and teens ages 7 to 17 who are coming to us after some sort of mental health crisis. So, kids that may have just had a suicide attempt. If I walk into a room with kids like that and try to play them classical music, basically the entire room starts shaking. They're like, I can't, this makes me anxious. I can't. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. So, that's why, like, I really can't underscore patient preference enough, because like, even if I have all of these guidelines of like, yeah, maybe you want something with no words. However, teenagers in particular usually want to relax to something with words. It gives them something to focus on.
Okay.
Instead of their own thoughts. So, we have these guidelines, and this is, different considerations to have, but like what they want to hear matters way more to me than what I just walked in with.
Right.
Now, I love using my idiopan, especially because, like, for a lot of people, it's a novelty. A lot of people are like, what is this saucer thing that I don't understand. Like, that's why I love playing it. And for a lot of people, it is relaxing. And because of the novelty, I can walk in with this to my groups. And they would be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, and I could do something. However, I would never do a full-blown, like, 30-minute experience with this. It also has to be a matter of, like, how long can you handle it?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of considerations.
Yeah, that's great, because I know that, so I am a writer and editor at my job for an architecture engineering firm. And one of the things that I do whenever I'm editing is I have an editing playlist on YouTube that is all music with no words. Mm-hmm. Because it helps me focus in. But then if I am writing, I actually like to have words, because it gives me a way to just kind of get the information out of my head and not really pay attention to what I'm writing, because then later when I'm editing, I can go in and make everything right. So I like that you kind of brought that in, the piece of like, for teenagers, the words help them focus, and for adults, kind of the words detract from that. So it's because I don't know what I wish I could remember what I did in high school.
Right.
Did I listen? I feel like I listen to music all the time. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's why I only listen to songs with stories and such in them. There you go, Frost. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. No, see, and then the best part is like, there's a whole other subset of like, if you try to play certain pieces for musicians like me, you trigger us, because we don't want to hear it. We probably played it at a million weddings. So no.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, there's that whole other layer of like, I need to know who I'm playing to before I walk in. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is relaxing to you, I promise.
Yeah,
no,
for sure.
No.
Yeah, I can definitely see like you come in to somebody who plays the viola or whatever, mm-hmm. and start playing like Pachelbel's Canon or something, and they're like,
that's
stop
exactly
it.
the piece I'm referring to, actually. Mm-hmm.
See,
that
there you
go. I've played it at so many weddings, and so many people love it. And then as soon as you say it to a cello player in particular, like, congratulations, you've just spawned Satan.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. No kidding. No kidding. Yep.
Speaking of exorcisms.
You know what? There's right. There's a video. Oh, shoot. What is it? Where he starts playing Pachelbel's Canon on the cello. Is that piano, guys? He starts playing Pachelbel's Canon on the cello at a wedding, and then like busts out and starts playing something completely different, and everybody starts giving him dirty looks, and then he goes back to doing the boring.
That's exactly what it feels like. Yep.
I'll have to find that. I swear. I think it's piano. All right, hang on. Where's my notebook? I have a notebook that I write stuff down in during these so that I can remember to look it up later. I'm going to look that up and I'm going to send it to you because you will get a kick out of it.
I will love it.
Oh, my pen isn't working, of course. All the things aren't working today. Okay, I will look that up and send it to you for sure.
I'm so excited.
It's very entertaining. So when you mentioned whenever we were going through that relaxation exercise at the beginning, that kind of just, if you find yourself focusing on something else, to just kind of bring yourself back. So when you're meditating, kind of what do you do when you do get distracted to kind of reconnect to that moment? Is there a like tried and true method for bringing yourself back to center in that moment? Because I know for me, like, I have 4 kids, and if one of them walks into the room,
it's over.
or one of the cats, like the cat walks across my face, you know, it's gonna happen.
Well, see, like, I think that's a lot of the beauty of like meditation is like that's why it's a practice.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the one thing that you will always be able to come back to anytime you're like, "Ooh, hey, cats," or like, "Oh, hey, kids," is your breathing, because you can't stop doing that, right? Like, we're very rare, like, in the think of the span of an entire 24-hour day, right? How many times are you actually aware of your breathing? Basically none.
Right.
So anytime that, like, you're just kind of like, you know what, what's outside? Like, wait, hang on, I'm breathing. Let me just focus on that real quick, you know, like just that one thing that you can't stop doing because, you know, reasons. That's what you always can come back to when you get distracted.
All right. I like it. So we do have a question from Bite Mark. She says, how do you feel about micro meditations, counting to 10 before speaking, etc.?
They are perfect. They're great. Like, there's so many times where, you know, people will say like, "Oh, I don't got time for this." Well, okay, if you can count to 10 before speaking, guess what? Congratulations, you have time for this. You know, like I was saying earlier, like, it does not, like, meditation does not have to be this, like, I gotta carve out an hour of my day to just, you know.
Yeah.
No, it really doesn't have to be that, especially if that's not beneficial to you. Like, if you don't feel like the whole, like, sit with your breath and in silence and do nothing, if that's not helpful, then don't do it that way. You know, it's much better to do like these micro things of like, let me just take 2 breaths before I walk into this room and do whatever it is I have to do. Right? Like, that's like, that can be your moment of mindfulness for the day, and that's great.
I like that. And then also, you know, things like yoga and those kinds of things, like, and Bite Mark mentioned coloring earlier. Those are kind of what people don't consider conventional meditation, but I'll tell you, I've got coloring books behind me. Like, I'll tell you that if I'm sitting here coloring, like, I get totally out of whatever I'm doing in my life and just like, oh, look at this pretty picture.
Yeah.
You know? Is that helpful?
I get jealous. I get jealous when I do coloring groups with some of my kids. Because, like, sometimes I'll get halfway through the group and I'm like, do I have an extra color? I want to color. Can I have some markers? Like, why am I not doing this?
Let me borrow your blue. Yep, absolutely. Well, and so I have one kid who's super artistic and really likes to color. And then I have another one who you have to force him to do any sort of creative anything. So that wouldn't be good for him. But the little micro meditations of like, take a couple breaths. And we have to do that with him because he repeats his words a lot. So he'll start off saying the, and just kind of that stutter step at the beginning of a sentence when he's trying to just talk too fast. And
his mind goes faster than what can get out of it.
Yeah. So we have to just kind of with him be like, all right, take a hot second, think about your thoughts and then put them into words. But with my other one, like, she'll just get lost. Coloring, drawing, not know what time it is, probably not even know what day it is if I, don't help her. I'll save that line if I'm ever a manager or anything. If that's unhelpful, then don't do it that way. Hey, you know what? That's a great thing for a manager to say.
I just got quoted.
That is a wonderful thing for a manager to say. If your team is doing something and they don't like to do it that way and they have a way that they prefer to do it, I think that's fantastic. Just like sidebar management thing, because that's
true.
I bought the advanced coloring books for the kiddos a few years back and bought some extras for me because they're so cool. Yes.
They're great.
Yep, absolutely. So you've already kind of covered this, but if someone were to say, I don't have time for guided meditation or relaxation, how would you respond?
Yeah, I would say, like, if you really feel like you don't have time for meditation, then you need to reevaluate your day. Like, this is like, it really doesn't have to be like a big old production, right? It doesn't have to be like, oh, I got to block off this much time in my day. Like, no, like, you can be aware of your breathing when you wake up. You can focus on the sensation of water hitting you when you're in the shower. You can especially focus on your breathing when you're driving to work or driving to school. Like while you're eating lunch, actually focus on what you're eating. Like it's those micro like meditation things. It's literally just, it's about taking a moment for yourself and being aware of yourself in that moment. That's all it has to be. It does not have to be like, let me block off all this time for this meditation I'm supposed to do. Like, no. You have time. You don't think you have time. You have time.
Yeah. Well, and people talk all the time about this kind of in the context of exercise. Like, if you can't say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym for 30 minutes or for an hour, then walk outside for 10 minutes and come back. And 2 hours later, walk outside for another 10 minutes and come back. Like, build that up to where you're doing 3 of those a day. And then all of a sudden you've done 30 minutes without even really thinking about it. So I feel like it's kind of the same thing with meditation. If you, especially driving to work, like,
yeah,
I live in Texas and we road rage. So I think focusing on breathing would be really beneficial to a lot of people around here.
It would be, though. Just instead of the you just oh wow, yes. Wasn't that so much nicer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I tell my husband all the time, maybe their mother is in the hospital and they're just trying to get to her right now, okay? Maybe that's what it is. That's why they cut you off. They aren't thinking. Exactly. Their wife is in the passenger seat and she's having a baby, okay?
Wait, all of those people? Wow, that's a lot of people. You know what? Yes.
It's the day. It's just the day. The moon is at the right position for all the babies to happen.
The stars have aligned. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was super relaxed for the first time in forever when I woke up, just existing in my warm bed when the sound of my roommate starting laundry at the same time as of using the microwave and the cat meowing just pulled me back to earth.
Aww. Yeah.
Yep.
It happens.
So if I experience restlessness or discomfort during an exercise, what should I do?
So if you're like restless, that can be normal. I actually, I make fun of myself all the time because like I do this, right? I'm terrible. I am always super, super restless when I'm meditating, always. Discomfort is a little different, right? If you're at the point of like, okay, I feel like I don't feel my legs right now, right? Like it's just kind of like, okay, like not even like a little wiggle will help. Okay, something else could be wrong and you might want to stop. Restlessness could just be, the whole like this is a mind exercise. So like, okay, well, you're restless, bring it back. Like that's why it's a practice thing. However, if you're actually going into like a meditation session with like a practitioner or something and like discomfort comes up, like something just starts feeling wrong and, like tears come up, that's a thing that can happen. That could absolutely mean like, hey, I need to stop right now and just check in and like talk about what's going on. But if it's just like, I've been here just kind of chilling out for a second. Oh, my back hurts. Then just get comfy. Like, just do a shift. And if that's not enough, then like, okay, readjust and like stop for a bit. Yeah. But restlessness, no, that's normal. That's me all the time.
Yeah. Well, because that's me too. I mean, anytime I've tried to do any sort of meditation, like I always fail at meditation because I'm just like, yeah, I can't pay attention to this for that long. I can't do it.
Yep.
Well, I play says I have that once a week with people running weed whackers. Oh, I hate lawn guys who start super early, especially on like a Saturday or Sunday.
Worst.
Please,
so rude.
Please, because the chances are my kids have already woken me up. But if they haven't already woken me up, I don't want to be woken up by weed whackers. Come on.
Whatever someone is paying you to be here at this hour, I will give you double to come 2 hours later.
Yes. Yes. Oh, my sleep schedule lines up perfectly with neighbors starting to mow lawns right when I get in bed exhausted. Oh, no. Too squirmy to sit still and think about one thing. Yep. And what will I play? I think that comes back to that that whole just kind of try to recenter yourself as often as possible. And that's hard for me to do.
It's so hard.
For sure. Okay, Bite Mark says, any tips on convincing one's boss to provide opportunities for meditation?
Whew, my dear, if you find out, you let me know. I mean, because that really depends on, like, you know, your place of work and your relationship with your boss. But like, one thing that you can't refute, right? Well, in an ideal world where facts are supposed to make sense, you cannot refute research. So, you know, if you have a boss that's like particularly receptive to stuff like that, you could literally walk in and be like, here you go. Like, here's all the research for why this could possibly be beneficial. Like, could we maybe possibly think about getting this to heaven? Maybe, please. You know, so like that could be an option. You really just got to know, like, how to get in with your boss, right? Just, that's really what it depends on. But
yeah,
once I find out, I'll let you know.
Make Monday's booty again. Yeah, I have all the sound commands disabled. Sorry. I have a sound command for booty that plays the little part of Old Town Road where he goes, Wrangler on my booty. There you go. See, now you get it.
I just learned that song too for my groups.
There you go. But I have a lot of sound commands. They're all disabled during Mental Health Monday for obvious reasons.
I mean, I will always welcome Old Town Road.
Yeah. Yes. Right. We've been over this. It's not the same. And you know what? I'm sorry, Finn. I'm sorry. Yeah. When I was working overnight salon, people were the worst because you can't yell at them for mowing at noon. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, that makes it hard.
You know, one thing that you could do at work, this involves a lie. So, you know, like, take it with a grain of salt, and please don't actually do this, but take up smoking. And then go on your mandated smoke breaks to meditate in your car.
There you go.
I have had this conversation with multiple people where I've said, like, hey, wait a minute. If they get mandated smoke breaks, how come I don't get a mandated, like, Twitter break? What's up? Come on. Give me my 10, 15-minute break a few times a day to do my version of smoking, which, by the way, is way more healthy.
It's true.
Frost, I did not tell you to take up smoking. Absolutely
That's
not.
What happened. I am a witness.
Smoking is bad. Do not smoke. Don't do it. I'm just saying, if your work supports smoke breaks, then pretend to take up smoking.
Take a break.
Frost, you know what you can do?
A vape break. I don't know. Something.
Yeah. Frost, why don't you take up... Why don't you take up smoking those candy cigarettes? Do they still sell those? I don't even know.
I feel like they probably don't, but they
probably
need to for this exact purpose.
Yeah. I mean,
they need to get back on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to just tell my boss I was going to take 5 and leave the reason vague and go outside. I like that too. You can find them on the internet. You can find anything on the internet.
True.
My neighbor used to have those. I used to have those. What are you talking about? Oh, I used to have those for sure. Okay, so do you ever have anybody fall asleep while doing a guided relaxation exercise?
I have totally had someone fall asleep before.
So what do you do?
Well, so like what's really funny, so all of my work is basically done in groups with the kids that I work with. So like usually what'll happen is the rest of the group, like, you know, I'll be like, hey, you know, like you're good, like whenever you're comfy, like just keep coloring or I gotta go next door, you know, whatever it is. The rest of the group might notice and like giggle a little bit. And I'm just kind of like, listen, I have provided a space in which they were able to feel comfortable enough to let go and safe enough to fall asleep. Have fun. Like, I'm good. You're good. It's fine. Like, they'll wake up when they feel like it, you know? Like, it's fine. Doesn't bother me now. If I was doing individual work and, like, you know, was on, like, a different kind of time schedule, I'll probably be like, yo, like, my next client's coming. Like, I need to just tap.
Right.
But, yeah, like, I've totally fine, totally normal. And that's what it is. Like, you know, if you feel comfortable enough and safe enough at a mental hospital to fall asleep in the room, sure. Okay. Cool. I'm good with it.
I like it. Okay, so if I go out to my car on a non-smoke smoke break, to meditate
unsmoke
in the
break.
middle of a day at work. How can I keep myself from kind of falling asleep during like if I'm listening to a tape or pull something up on my phone on an app or something? Is there something that I could do to keep myself from falling asleep if that's a problem for me?
That's a good question. If I had an issue like that, I mean, yeah, Frost has an idea of like, set an alarm on your phone. I would, if it were me, I would probably like do something really subtle. Like I would always be like tapping my foot maybe, or like, kind of like tapping a finger just to be like kind of like as soon as I notice I'm not anymore, I should probably, like as a way to kind of like come to. Or yeah, exactly. Do it right at bedtime and then you fall asleep and you're fine.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
But yeah, if you're like legit, like totally afraid or it's already happened to you of like, yeah, I fell asleep that one time. Yeah, maybe set an alarm.
Yeah.
Just to be
good.
safe.
Yep. At least 7 alarms.
That's me.
So is there a right way and a wrong way to meditate?
Well, I mean, it's a practice, right? Like you and I, we've both said it. We feel the same way. Like every time you drift, you're like, oh my God, I'm the worst. I'm doing it wrong. I drifted again. I'm doing it. No, it's a practice. You're doing great. And like, I really feel like the only way that it can be wrong is if you're doing it in a way where it's not helping you. Like we were saying before, like if you feel like the little micro meditations really aren't enough for you, don't keep up with them. Like make sure that you're carving out that like 15, 30 minutes, whatever you need for it. But if you're still like feeling it out, allow yourself to feel it out. But I don't really like the only way that it can be a wrong way is if it's not beneficial and you keep doing it. Really.
That's fair. Do not turn on your car and cruise at 2 miles. No, that's a bad.
No.
Y'all are horrible people. Horrible people. So should you typically meditate with a specific topic or question in mind, or should you go into it kind of with just focus on breathing and not try to solve the world's problems in your head?
I mean, you definitely can. That's why not why, but it's one of the reasons why we have mantras. Some people focus on like, a mantra, like a word, or like a little statement. Actually, one of the things that I like doing is sometimes I'll do what I call affirmation meditations, where chat will actually like give sentences that they want to hear, and I'll be playing and I'll speak them over the music, and it might be something like I'm going to be intentional today, or I'm going to find the good in whatever my day brings me. Like a little like a sentence like that. And sometimes it just kind of like helps you focus on like putting your intentions out kind of into the world. And sometimes, if all you can do is the breathing thing, like that's all you can do for that day, and that's fine too. It's really just what you prefer.
Yeah.
There you go. It's not worth going to jail over. Sometimes that's what you need.
That's pretty good. That's funny because my therapist a couple weeks ago gave me homework of don't commit crimes while you're super emotional. So I said, so that means if I'm not emotional, I can commit crimes. And she said, no. Never mind. Just don't commit crimes.
Just don't commit crimes.
It's like, okay. All right. Okay. I got that.
That's great. Oh my God.
So, is there an overall well-being strategy or a specific meditation or exercise that you would recommend to anyone with or without an underlying disorder?
I mean, I feel like, like kind of we addressed earlier, like if you don't have the 2 minutes even for whatever reason to like, think about your breathing and all right, fine. Take 3 intentional breaths. Not like, okay, I'm getting out of the way. Like, no. 3 breaths where you're actually thinking in, out, that like you're just that, right? And just allow yourself, like that quick soft reset. And who knows, maybe before you know it, you're breathing intentionally for 5 minutes. And congratulations, you're meditating. Oops, not sorry.
Accidental meditation.
Exactly.
If you could change one thing about the mental health field or people's views of mental health professionals and educators, what would it be?
That's a nice long list. I'm gonna pick one.
You can pick multiple. It's totally fine.
Well, I think a big one is advocate for what makes you feel better.
Mm.
So in my facility, there are 3 different units, and I currently don't see the patients that are on one of the units, even though a lot of them know me and have seen me. And they're the ones asking why they aren't seeing me. So my answer has really been like, advocate for yourselves. Like, you guys are the ones. I'm not saying I want to come see you. You are the ones that want me to come see you. So if you feel like, music could possibly help you, explore music therapy as an option. And if music therapy totally isn't your thing, we have art therapy, we have dance therapy, we have drama therapy. Like, the creative arts are here, and we're helping people open up in ways that, maybe just sitting with a talk therapist might not capture for you, or that even medication might not tap into, but you especially won't know if you're not advocating for yourself and figuring out, like, what's that thing that's going to make you feel better? Not like, oh, other people say I should. No. What's the thing that's going to make you feel better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like in the past, I want to say like 5 or 6 years, healthcare has gotten a little bit better about not needing referrals for every single blessed thing. But I know that there are still some times where they're like, well, did you get approval for that ahead of time? Yeah. So I definitely feel like being your own advocate in all healthcare, but especially mental health care is a huge deal. And if you can do that and kind of own your own journey, then you'll be doing miles better for yourself. You'll be more confident in what you're receiving, the care you're receiving. And we've always said here multiple times, like, don't be afraid to fire your therapist.
Oh God, never be afraid to fire your therapist. Never, ever, ever, ever. That could be a very necessary thing. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I've shared before that I had to fire a therapist, and it was one of the best things that I ever did, because I love my therapist now, and she's wonderful. And gives me homework like, don't kill people.
And like, honestly, like the most blunt possible statement, right? Sometimes therapists wish we could fire y'all, but we can't.
Yes.
So maybe you're doing them a favor.
Right. We've definitely heard that here before, that we've had like, you can fire your therapist. Your therapist really can't fire you. They could say, I don't specialize in whatever you're dealing with, but they really can't fire you. So if you feel like
we
you're
can
not
hit
clicking,
a point of just like, maybe we will discharge you because we have reached the end of like what we can do for you, but it's not going to be like, yeah, I'm done with you. Can you just
I don't want to work with you anymore.
We can't. We don't do that. That's not ethical.
Right. So Bite Mark asked, do you have any particular studies on meditation that you recommend?
Oh, goodness. The quick answer is no, only because since I'm in the depths of my thesis right now, all of my stuff is very, very like music therapy stuff, and not necessarily like purely meditation. But I was literally Headspace.
Oh,
I was looking at Headspace earlier today, and that one had a lot of really cool, good info. So check out that website at least.
And they have an app.
Looking into it, they do
have an app as well.
Yeah, an app and a lot of like just good info that's really accessible and just easy to kind of like get through with references at the bottom.
Yep, awesome. Sometimes you just need your therapist to tell you not to kill people. That is true. So I'm going to open up the floor to any remaining community Q&A. If you have a question, be sure to put it in the queue. And then while we're waiting on those questions to come in, do you have anything you want to throw out there about your work or research, or anything we didn't cover that you want to say? Any shout outs you want to give? I'll just kind of open the floor to you as well to say anything you want to say.
Let's see. I think we pretty much covered everything. Like I said, I'm drowning in thesis work right now, so that's kind of absorbing my brain. Yep. If you are interested in trying to find a music therapist for yourself, you can check out cbmt.org. They are our accreditation board. So they literally have the name of every single music therapist in your area. If there are any in your area, hopefully there are, but there's not that many of us. So, like we might be going to far areas. But that is the best place for you to check out if there's a therapist near you. They actually just did a brand new design. They just totally revamped their website. It's really pretty now. They have a nice little find a therapist button up at the top in the top right corner, I think it is. If it's not quite working yet, I swear it'll be working soon. At least that they swear to us that it'll be working soon. That's what they told us. So, but yeah, other than that, I can't think of too much, actually. I think you are very thorough and we've covered a lot.
Good. Well, I definitely appreciate you being here today. I'll just say again, thank you for coming here and for sharing your talents with us and for talking to us about meditation and guided relaxation. I know I appreciated it. I know the community appreciated it as well. I will look up that video. I have it written down right here and send it to you. And yeah, absolutely. Could I get one more shout out in chat for Songs of Healing? Y'all check her out on Twitch. She's also on Twitter. Follow her if you're not following her already. She's fantastic. And when she comes back to Twitch, go hang out with her if you want.
I'm gonna soft put this out there. I'm gonna try to do a stream tomorrow night.
Okay.
We'll see how that works. It would be at
about what time are you feeling?
I'm gonna get it right this time. I'm 10:30 Eastern, so that's your 9:30 Central.
10:30. I'm just gonna write down 10:30. I'm gonna do 10:30 Eastern, and I will be sure to put that on Twitter too, so that if you're live, I'll check before I put it on Twitter.
There you go. Yep. Now that I've spoken it into the world, it's like, if you don't,
yes, absolutely. Okay, well,
thanks, Will.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And chat, give me just a minute. I'm going to disconnect with Songs of Healings. I'll be right back. You're going to get the cam while I disconnect. So hang on a second. Slinky's still down there. Oh, I just realized that the raptor is still my little Capamon. He eats people.
He's precious. I've been watching him this whole time.
Yeah. When you tell him to eat, he eats a little construction worker.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I want it.
Yeah. All right, chat. Give me just a second to disconnect with Songs of Healing. I will be right back. We'll be playing some 7 Days to Die, which Slay is already prepping me for. So I'll be right back. My goal with the Words to Your Mother podcast is to hold relatable conversations in a peer-supported, non-judgmental environment. I aim to own my own story with the understanding that well-being is a lifelong journey and that we are all more than our challenges and diagnoses. Until next time, I hope you're able to own your own story, love yourself, and thrive as you become more mentally stable, emotionally healthy, and physically well with each passing day. And don't forget, the only normal people are the ones you don't know very well.